Hey guys, Courier Girl here, and I want to just ramble for a minute about um, how do you know if it's time to stop doing a particular job? Because this has been on my mind lately. I've been talking to a few people about it, and they're like, I'm doing this job. I got this courier route, and I'm just not sure if I want to keep doing it. I felt that way about different jobs that I've done too. Like, you kind of know that, it was fun at first, you enjoyed doing it, and now you're not looking forward to going to work every day. And you got this nagging feeling in the back of your head that maybe I really don't want to do this type of work or this particular job anymore. And it's not like having an off day, because we all have off days where we don't want to go to work. But if you're having that feeling a lot about a particular thing that you're doing, then maybe it's time to think about moving on. And this could be true of any job, not just courier work. But you know how we are. We're human and we like familiarity and we don't like change. And so we often stay in situations a lot longer than we should. At least I do. And I know other people do too. And so instead of quitting that job or finding something to replace it, a lot of us will just stay in it and, then get kind of cranky and grumble and all that stuff. And it's not doing us any good. A lot of us, we want to do this courier work because it's freedom. You can take the jobs you want, you can not take the jobs you don't want. You can work the hours you want. I mean, if you commit to something, obviously you have to show up, but you could do the gig economy and work whenever you want to log in. So there's a freedom to being a courier, but yet then we put ourselves in this place where we're kind of in a rut, just like having a regular job, but we've done it to ourselves because we're the independent contractor, we're the business owner, we're the ones that are taking the jobs or not. So for me, I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I've got kind of an unsettled feeling about some of the work that I'm doing. And I'm thinking, geez, should I maybe look for other things or should I keep doing it? I'm on the fence right now. So there's a few things that I'm thinking about and I just wanted to share them with you. Number one is what I said before, that nagging feeling that maybe it's time to not do this. Another thing is the money. So evaluating the money for the work and the time. So I did for one particular job is because this one pays different all the time because it's like kind of like stat work. You're always doing different runs, so you don't have a set rate. Like every week your check's going to be different because you don't know how many runs you're going to have that week. So I ended up adding up all of my pay for that job from the beginning of the year and the amount of time that it took and the miles that I drove. And I keep a mileage log, which also has start and end times on it. So that was pretty easy for me to figure out. And I calculated my average earnings per hour and my average earnings per mile. And I said to myself, this is before expenses. This is just like what I would gross, what I would bring home, the money that would go into the bank before gas, before maintenance, before anything else that I have to pay for. And I said to myself, am I making enough money doing this? Like, am I comfortable doing this for this amount of money, for the time it takes and for the miles that I'm driving? And that's something that you could do too. I think it's hard to do before you've done a job. People have asked me before, well, how do I know if I should even take a job? And that can be hard to evaluate, especially if it is work that's paid by the delivery, paid by the mile, instead of like a route that pays a certain amount every week or every day or whatever. But after you've been doing it for a while, and it could be even as little as a couple weeks, or maybe even as little as a week if you really pay attention to how much you're making and write everything down, you can say, it's not worth it to me, or, I'm going to keep doing it for a little while. So that's another evaluation, is the time, the energy, and the effort, and the amount you're making for it. And another thing is, what else do you have going on in your life? Is it taking away from your family time? Is it taking away from other projects or businesses that you're doing? Or just you're neglecting your health, or you're not able to eat right because you're not cooking, or you're not exercising, or you've got 10 million tons of laundry piling up because you never have time to do it. If you're working that much where you feel like you're missing out on your personal life, then it's time to reevaluate as well. And that's a big one for me, because I, like many couriers, we get addicted to the money. So we love bringing in those big paychecks, and it's easy to just keep working, 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 and not realize that, dang, I don't have a personal life anymore, you know? All right, so those are the things that I'm thinking about today. That is what I'm evaluating. I'm looking at some of the different work that I'm doing. I'm thinking about, is it still profiting me? Is it adding to the quality of my life? That's a big picture. Is it adding to my bank account in a way that I like, but is it adding to the quality of my life too? So that's it. Some food for thought. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd like to add to that. I always love getting comments from people. I read them and I answer everyone that I see. Sometimes I miss a few, but I do try to answer them all. So I'm going to go do some pickups. Yeah, pickups are next. And I will see you on the road.